hit on some of the captains as we get rolling. So on offense, it'll be Noah Brown, and just tough, competitive. He came up not too far from the Meadowlands, and man, it's good to have him back on the field and what he brings for us. Defensively, Jordan McGee, and I thought some of the things that stand out with him, it's the growth, the speed, the violence, and like he's developing not just on the field but off the field as well. Now, special teams, we did Jalen Lane and the habits, the work that he puts in, and so he's always about that. And so he's developing. He's also making his marks. I thought those three guys had hit. And then from the team standpoint, man, like hit him on all week, man. What I'm looking for from us is urgency and like that part of how we go and how we play. And so that's really true for all the four division games that are ahead, and throw the records out and go fight for it. So we've been battling against New York for a long time, and so it's cool to be part of that in the NFC East. So it's time to get down.
Before I get to the other ones, Terry and Debo, didn't see him out there today.
Yes, they had a planned day
Okay.
off just on the space where they had to get recovery work, knowing that they went big for Wednesday and Thursday. That was planned ahead.
Okay. Then
and Debo was out with an illness, so
Okay.
that part.
For Jordan, been playing a lot more lately. He's talked about possibly, being maybe a Mike down the road. How can you, if that's something he might be playing down the road, how do you assess that now, and how do you get him ready for possibly that role? What do you see in him that could be in that role?
Yeah, it's a good question, John. The ways that you try to do it, and when a player's out at the position, then you, in the practice-wise, so for Wags being out for a couple of days, he played all of that spot. And so the experience, the calling it, the communication, so you kind of get these spaces and windows when that happens, and so that's what we did with him. He would be somebody that would be able to do that for sure.
What have you seen from him lately? Are you seeing what you'd hope to see?
Yeah, I think what I want to see, especially over these 4 games, him really working on the edge, and that's kind of where I think he's at his best, John. Where he can penetrate and be aggressive. But yeah, I thought he has developed, from certainly from where camp is to where he is today, and I think we'll see that over these next 4 as well. I feel his quickness back and his speed back.
We saw a number of the injured guys come out during the start of practice. I don't know if they've been out to other practices, but just seeing a number of them stick around for their rehabs, was that something they've chosen to do? Was that something you asked them to do?
No, I didn't ask him, but it was good to see that. And with Wise and Trey being out there, I thought, like, old head, the young guy coming out, I thought what a good mentor he is in a lot of ways to a lot of people. And when you have teammates like that, it goes a long way. If you would follow Bobby around our building, he wouldn't just be hanging out with the linebackers and like being able to share insights and wisdom, and that's something that Wise has. So no, I do like that though, Nikki, from them.
Hey, Coach, you talked about urgency, and last week you talked about having good practices.
Yep.
So when you look at practice, and it did materialize itself on game day, but in looking at the practice this week, what are you seeing as this team gets ready to go up to the Meadowlands, and what do you want to see so that the same results are not
Sure.
this week in facing a quarterback like Dart?
Yeah, number one, I wanted to see like the early part of the week, get your ass kicked Sunday and Monday, and so you stay pissed, but you want to, okay, we're done kicking our own ass. It's time to go apply it, all the game planning and how you want to go play. And so the play style, the attitude, that's what the messaging was about as I, kind of started the week. And then now as the final preparations are coming to it, it really comes back to us again. So it's like game planning, who they are, how they do it, and then kind of the shift begins to bring it all back to us. And that'll be kind of the process as we get into tomorrow and tomorrow night, and then Sunday, go let it rip.
Hey, Coach, I know early in the week you always talk about Tell the Truth Monday. And so when you have Tell the Truth Monday, is it with the players and your staff?
Yes.
Okay, so then my second question is, so what does that kind of look like in terms of the feedback you provide with your staff?
Yeah, 2 ways. First one's I do one with the staff on us, kind of an after action of, like, in every game, what we liked, what we didn't, what matchups we liked. And you want to go through that because although a team may change or opponent, there could be a play caller that you go back. So I find myself using, the after actions from seasons or years before on different play callers. I think there's an important coaching element to it first, Candy, and then performance-wise. So when you get to Sunday, it's not like players, coaches, just the team then. And so like everyone there is responsible for everything. And how do you elevate? And so I challenged us to say, what parts can we do better and find our way to make our mark. But yeah, it's good to do everybody together. And that way it's never this fault, it's collectively. And it's provided dividends because you have to show the lessons. And if you don't talk about them, you're kind of just bullshitting yourself if you don't say it, but you do have to show it. You're welcome.
If I heard you right, were you saying that Johnny Newton, you think his best spot is playing on the edge?
Like on the edge of a guard or a center, the penetrating stuff. He's the movements upfield. Ben, that should have been more specific. Thanks for clarifying that. Yep, upfield is the wreaking havoc side that I like.
Well, staying with the line, obviously, you lose Dorrance and Dietrich for the season, and when you look ahead to next year, it's hard to know exactly where those guys will be at with recovery. What do you kind of think about the depth of the line right now when you're looking ahead to what you guys may have going forward?
Yeah, I haven't looked ahead a lot, honestly. As I get into it right now, Ben, I'm just digging in hard, man, for the game. We'll have a thorough evaluation that Adam and I go through and where we're at and who we're developing. I like some of the guys that even aren't up all the time, like what I saw from TJ and Walker and others as we're going through it. But as far as what and where, I'm with you. Yeah, I don't know where guys are on the returning and dates and all that good stuff, but we'll definitely go through a thorough evaluation and find the right spaces to dig in on those.
I guess I'll ask the Jaden question. How
Sure.
has he progressed through this week, and then what is kind of the outlook for him? When do you want to make a call, I guess, for next week?
It was good to have him for practice for sure. When you're a young quarterback and young player, the growth is important, but we'll definitely let his health be the driving factor in that. And so he wasn't cleared for the contact portion, but he was able to get some reps and going through some things. So as we get through into next week, I'll have a better sense. But it was good to get 3 days of practice. Obviously, for him, until things are fully, able to be himself, no restrictions, that's would be the driving factor. But I like the work. Continue to get the development, obviously, with up and down from practice times, and when you can to get 3 days in a row of practice work, that's important. All right, it's appreciated on a Friday. All right, see you guys. You can keep them for next week. It's good.